Germany is a country where people do brake jobs differently, and the difference shows up directly in how long the parts last. German mechanics follow a very specific process. Every step has a clear reason behind it. When they finish, those brakes perform consistently for years, not months, years. Most people treat a brake job like a quick errand. Grab the parts, put them on, drive away. That approach is exactly why so many drivers deal with squealing brakes and premature wear just months later. You will know exactly what to buy, what tools you need, and where most people go wrong. 1. What brake pads and rotors do. Your braking system has two main components working together: the brake pads and the brake rotors. The rotor is a large metal disc bolted to your wheel hub. It spins along with your wheel every time you drive, while the brake pad is a friction material attached inside a caliper. So, when you press the brake pedal, the caliper squeezes the pad against the spinning rotor. That contact creates friction, and that friction is what actually slows down your car down. Over time, the pad material wears thin from constant contact. The rotor surface develops grooves, scoring, and uneven patches from the same friction. Both components wear out together. The problem here is that most drivers only ever replace the pads, while German mechanics always evaluate both at the same time. That single habit alone changes the entire outcome of the brake job. Think about it like this. Putting fresh pads on a deeply grooved rotor is like putting new shoe soles on a completely bent shoe frame. The new material wears down fast and unevenly because the surface underneath is already damaged. 2. What to buy and what to avoid. This is where people mess up before the job even starts. Walk into any auto parts store in America and you will find 3 price levels on brake pads: budget, mid-range, and premium. And most American drivers pick the cheapest option without thinking twice. But German mechanics make their choice based on pad material, not price tag. That is a completely approach to purchase. And this is where the comparison gets really interesting. You see, American drivers spend around $1.5 billion every year replacing brake pads. A huge chunk of that money goes toward replacing pads that failed too early because the wrong material was chosen from the start. German mechanics avoid this mistake by choosing the perfect material first time. The standard choice for everyday driving in Germany is a quality ceramic brake pad, not the cheap brake pad that is sitting on shelves of most American stores. The benefit with ceramic pads is they run at lower temperatures during normal braking. They produce significantly less brake dust. They are also much gentler on rotor surfaces, which means your rotors last longer too. Brands like Brembo, Bosch, and ATE are extremely common in German workshops. A solid ceramic pad set costs around $40 to $60 per axle. Now that price for something like a brake pad, which directly affects your safety while driving, is very reasonable. Now, let's talk about choosing rotors. For rotors, German mechanics look at the design carefully. Slotted rotors are the preferred choice for regular street use. The slots cut into the rotor face allow heat to escape quickly during braking. That means your brakes stay cooler under pressure. Cooler brakes perform better and last significantly longer. And the brand providing that level of quality in rotors is Zimmermann, brand you will find in almost every German workshop. Their slotted rotors run between $60 and $100 per axle and hold up extremely well over time. Now the problem with most American drivers is they replace brake pads, but leave the old rotors on. And this is a big mistake, because German mechanics evaluate both components together every single time. They do it because putting fresh pads on a worn rotor is exactly like buying new tires for a bent rim. The new part suffers immediately because the foundation underneath is already damaged. always replace both sides of the same axle together, both front pads at the same time, both rear pads at the same time. Never replace just one side, because this will result in uneven braking. That can pull your car to one side and destroy your new parts much quickly. 3. Tools you actually need. To replace your brake pads and rotors, you do not need a professional lift or a full workshop. You only need the right tools before you begin. So, here's what you need: a floor jack and 2 jack stands, a lug wrench, a metric socket set, a C-clamp or dedicated brake piston tool, brake cleaner spray, ceramic brake lubricant, a wire brush, and a torque wrench. Now, the torque wrench here is super important because German mechanics treat the torque wrench as completely non-negotiable. This is because caliper bolts and wheel bolts left too loose or too tight can cause serious problems. Over-tightened caliper bolts warp your rotor over time, whereas under-tightened wheel bolts are a safety risk. So, it's best for you to invest in a basic torque wrench that costs around $30 and eliminates both problems completely. One more thing before you begin. Have your car's exact torque specifications ready. You can find these in your owner's manual or a quick online search for your specific make, model, and year. German mechanics never guess at torque values. They look them up every single time, and so should you. 4. Removing the old parts. Park on a completely flat surface. Engage your parking brake fully. Loosen each lug nut slightly while all 4 wheels are still on the ground. Remember, the wheel needs resistance to loosen the nuts properly. Trying to loosen them after the wheel is in the air just spins everything freely. So, place your floor jack under the correct jack point for your car. Every vehicle has specific reinforced lifting points built into the frame. Check your owner's manual for the exact location before you lift. Raise the car slowly and place jack stands under the frame on both sides. Lower the car gently onto the stands. Now remove the wheel completely and set it aside. Now take a close look at the brake assembly in front of you. The large metal disc is your rotor. The clamp-shaped component sitting over the rotor edge is your caliper. The caliper holds the brake pads and is attached to a bracket bolted to the steering knuckle behind it. You may see 2 bolts holding the caliper to its bracket. On most vehicles, these are either 13 millimeters or 15 millimeters. Remove both bolts and pull the caliper carefully away from the rotor. Do not let it hang freely by the rubber brake hose. That hose carries brake fluid under pressure. Hanging weight on it causes internal damage over time. Use a piece of wire or a bungee cord to support the caliper from a nearby spring or bracket. Slide the old brake pads out of the caliper bracket. They typically slide straight out of metal channels on either side. Some pads have small metal retaining clips. Before you remove everything, take a clear photo on your phone. German mechanics do this every single time. American drivers skip this step and spend twice as long figuring out reassembly later. Now, remove the rotor. On most cars, it slides straight off the hub once the wheel is removed. Some rotors have a small retaining screw. Remove that first if yours has one. Some rotors corrode onto the hub over time and resist coming off. Use a rubber mallet and tap firmly around the rotor face. A few solid taps break the corrosion bond. Never hit the rotor surface directly with a metal hammer. That damages the surface immediately. Now everything is off. Clean hub, removed caliper, old pads out. Every surface gets a full, proper clean before any new part touches anything. Before we get into the next step, do us a quick favor. Hit that like button and subscribe. It takes 2 seconds, and it helps us keep putting out content like this every week. 5. Cleaning. This step gets skipped in workshops all over America. German mechanics never skip it. And this single step separates a brake job that lasts 2 years from one that lasts 5. In most American quick-fit shops, the average brake job takes about 45 minutes. German mechanics typically spend closer to 90 minutes on the same job. That extra time goes almost entirely into preparation and cleaning. And that preparation is exactly what makes German brake jobs last twice as long on average. Here is the thing. Every surface that touches your new brake parts needs to be completely clean before installation. Old rust, built-up debris, and dried grease on the wrong surfaces cause uneven pad movement. Uneven pad movement causes uneven wear. And uneven wear means your brand new parts start degrading from day one. Grab your brake cleaner spray. Spray the entire caliper bracket thoroughly. Spray the hub surface where the rotor sits. Spray the rotor itself on both faces. The brake cleaner evaporates completely and leaves zero residue behind. That is exactly what you want on brake components. Now, take your wire brush to the caliper bracket slides. These are the small metal channels on either side of the bracket where the brake pads sit and move. Run the wire brush firmly through each channel until the metal looks clean and shiny. You will pull out a surprising amount of rust and compacted debris from these channels. That debris was sitting directly in the path of your brake pads. This is where people mess up constantly. American drivers spray a little cleaner, wipe once, and call it clean. The bracket slides need serious attention with the wire brush. Spend a full 5 minutes on this. Those 5 minutes directly affect braking performance for the next several years. After the wire brush, spray the channels again with brake cleaner. Wipe everything dry with a clean cloth. Now apply a thin layer of ceramic brake lubricant to the bracket slides only, just the metal channels. Keep the lubricant completely away from the rotor surface and the pad friction material. Lubricant on either of those surfaces destroys braking performance immediately. 6. Fitting the new parts. Slide your new rotor onto the hub. Push it flat against the hub surface. If your car has a retaining screw, put it back in finger tight now. Before anything else goes on, spray both rotor faces with brake cleaner. New rotors come from the factory with an anti-rust coating. That coating causes poor braking performance if you leave it on. Spray both sides and wipe clean. German mechanics do this every single time. Most American shops skip it entirely and hand the car back with that coating still on the rotor. Now compress the brake caliper piston. This is the cylinder inside the caliper that pushes the pad against the rotor. Your old pads were thin, so the piston pushed outward over time. Your new pads are thick. The piston needs to go back in before the caliper fits over them. Place your C-clamp against the back of the caliper on one end and the piston face on the other. Tighten slowly and steadily. The piston moves back into the caliper body. Go slow. Rushing this damages the rubber seal around the piston. One thing before you compress the piston. Open your brake fluid reservoir under the hood and remove the cap. Place a cloth around it. Compressing the piston pushes brake fluid back up into the reservoir. A full reservoir overflows onto your engine bay. Brake fluid destroys paint and rubber on contact. The cloth catches any overflow immediately. German mechanics always do this before touching the piston. American drivers regularly skip it and end up with fluid damage they did not expect. Slide your new pads into the caliper bracket channels. They should move smoothly and freely. Press them firmly until they sit completely flat. Position the caliper back over the rotor. Line up the bolt holes and thread both bolts in by hand first. Then, torque each bolt to your vehicle's exact specification. Most passenger cars fall between 25 and 44 foot-pounds. German mechanics look this number up every single time. Never guess at it. Put the wheel back on. Thread lug nuts in a star pattern, opposite nut to opposite nut. Lower the car until the wheel touches the ground. Torque each lug nut to specification in the same star pattern. Most cars require between 80 and 100 foot-pounds. Repeat the full process on the other side. 7. Bedding. In your brakes. Almost nobody in America does this step, and skipping it costs you real braking performance and pad life. In Germany, bedding in fresh brakes is a standard final step. Every German mechanic does it automatically without being asked. In America, most shops hand the keys back the moment the wheels go on. The car leaves with brand new brakes that have never been properly set up. That one difference explains why American brake jobs need repeating far sooner than German ones. So, this is how they actually do it in Germany. Find a quiet road. Accelerate to 30 miles per hour. Apply firm, steady brake pressure down to 5 miles per hour. Do not stop completely. Roll forward and repeat 6 to 8 times. Then drive gently for 10 minutes with no hard braking at all. Now accelerate to 50 miles per hour. Repeat the same process 6 to 8 times. Another 10-minute gentle cool down after that. After the bedding runs, let the car sit for a full hour. The rotors need to cool down completely. German mechanics let them cool fully before handing the car back to the owner. That cooling period locks the transfer layer in properly. Your brakes are now ready for normal driving and set up for maximum performance from day one. Most drivers will replace their brakes 4 times before you replace yours once. That is exactly what this method does for you. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay ahead of every repair your car will ever need. Pick one or tell me to mix elements from different options.